12 hours behind the leaders and just 3 hours behind his father is rookie Roan Boozer. He's in a very respectable 23rd place.
Of course, all throughout the training months, we said, you know, if I have to ditch you, I'll make sure you're okay, and then I'll kiss you goodbye. And Roan would say, I do the same thing, you know. So he had, of course, high hopes that we could progress together for the entire race, but there's going to be a break sooner or later.
Happy Ruby.
Roan arrives at 10 p.m. to Ruby, and it's clear he'll have to drop another dog.
You can't really plan on, you know, doing stuff based on having a full team.
Turn over here. This is left biceps.
So I'll end up dropping him.
Okay, I'll get it all ready for you.
Roan's team is down to 11 dogs. It's time for father and son to part ways.
The Yukon can be tackled many different ways, and on the northern route, Ruby to a place called Bishop Rock, and then from Bishop Rock to Keltag, that divides the Yukon into 2 long runs. Roan, I advised him to go do a 3-runner, going using the checkpoints more effectively. Deep in my heart, I knew there was going to be a break, you know, and he might have not wanted to realize that. You know, I wanted to win the race.
Martin heads out of Ruby, leaves his son behind, and begins his push to win.
My eye now is starting to focus on the front. You know, now I knew I needed to pass about 20 more teams to get to first. That was the mission. The mission was to win the iditarod.
Out front are Lance Mackey and Jeff King. Both teams are running hard to the Galena checkpoint, with only a few hours separating them. King's strategy of holding back while Mackey breaks the trail ahead is working.
It was starting to wear on me a little bit now that he was somewhat taking advantage of me. The unwritten rule is you take turns breaking trail.
I wanted a nice clean run because I wanted to be able to see if I could close the gap.
Here they come! Woo!
Mackey enters Galena at 10:38 p.m. with no intention of staying.
Hi, Lance.
All right.
Welcome to Galena. How are you? All right, you're passing through?
Yeah.
All right,
Is
so
there a
you
place
need-
I can get some coffee?
We can get you a cup of coffee.
I left Galena with just enough snacks and food and stuff to get me to Nulato. So I had every intentions of getting to Nulato.
The Nulato checkpoint is 56 hard miles up the Yukon River.
We left Galena like a rocket. Things were looking really good, and I'm starting to smile bigger and bigger. Well, we hit the river again, and man, God, it went from bad to worse. The trail behind us was bad. The trail in front of us is ridiculous.
12:30 a.m. Jeff King arrives at the Galena checkpoint. He's now only 2 hours behind Mackey.
I needed a nap. They need to stop somewhere. Nulato's too far. When I arrived at Galena and he hadn't stopped, I just go, what do you do? Well, I can't predict you anymore. When I looked at the times, I had made up like 50 minutes on him in a 50-mile run. That's huge. He's running for his life now.
Lance Mackey is only an hour from the Nulato checkpoint, but he's fallen into a fatigue-induced confusion.
The time between Galena and Nulato was getting longer and longer, and I'm dozing off a little bit. I'm starting to second-guess myself. I don't even know if I had passed it. I didn't know what the heck was going on. But I should have been there by now. And the dogs are going to suffer ultimately if I go any further. So, against my better judgment, but necessary, I stopped on the river. was a huge mistake in my race.
It's the morning of day 7, and Lance Mackey is back on the trail. An unplanned and restless night on the Yukon River cost him valuable time.
That was a huge mistake in my race. Misjudged myself, misjudged the distance.
If Lance had gone just an hour longer last night, he and his dogs would have gotten a good night's rest. Now, a well-rested Jeff King attacks from behind.
When we went past the halfway point to Nulato and he hadn't stopped, because I could see from the trail he hadn't stopped, he's going, "You're going the whole way to Nulato?" Just shy of Nulato, there in the trail, I can tell he has stopped. The dogs have laid down without straw. They didn't get off the trail. This might as well have been screeching tire tracks and broken glass on the highway. He had had a wreck.
Go ahead. How you doing, Lance? Good. Welcome to Nulato. Thanks. I wish I knew where it was at. I would have kept going. I was just about an hour away.
Literally, around the corner was Nulato. Well, 3 hours was not enough of a rest to take him down to Caltag. So I went into Nulato, and I shut him down again. That allowed Jeff to make up this little bit of time that I had put between us.
I'm sorry, too. Yeah, I'm sorry, too. You got something I need to take care of? You do? You're so funny.
So I was pretty anxious to get to Nulato to see just how far ahead of me he was, because I had no idea how long his wreck took him to get through. And it was pretty darn close.
He's traveling a little bit faster. Has been the whole race. I don't know at this stage what else to do.
I don't want to be in the lead right now. This is about perfect. I guess I believe my strength will be once we find a trail that's faster.
This trail has never hardened up like it did 2 years ago.
Dee Dee has been running hard throughout the night, and the soft trail has taken its toll on the team.
You're much better off to drop a dog than to take a dog that you have to, slow the whole team up for. So, and that's what I was doing coming in here. I couldn't run the speed of the team.
Python. Hey, buddy.
He's not real sick. He's still, he's got a real sore shoulder. It's time for him to go home.
I dropped Python. That became serious to me because now I was down to 12 dogs. Then I was really interested in making sure all 12 of the ones left finished.
As Dee Dee Johnroe preps her dogs for another run on the trail,
There you go. Ready?
Martin Boozer has picked up the pace since leaving Ruby and has moved up 7 places by sticking to his plan of mushing the Yukon in 2 jumps. Now in 10th place, he passes right through the Galena checkpoint.
Had a good run coming down from Ruby, so we'll go a little farther yet. Go to Bishop Rock and take a break there, and then we'll go on. I'm racing to win. The caveat, of course, is when you're racing to win, you got to rest. And that's the, that's the paradox.